Okay, guys. Edmen Shabazyan versus Derrick Brunson recap and what went wrong and where should Ed go from now and where should Derrick go from now. Mostly Ed though. We're gonna talk about mostly Ed because he's younger. He's 22. So before this fight, I read a comment that said Ed has cardio issues. I just scrolled by it. Then I'm like, hey, I never watched Ed Shabazyan's, I never watched his fights. I only watched two of his fights live. Him against, three of his fights. Three of his fights live. But I never really cared for him in the beginning. But, him against the Hawaiian guy, I forgot his name. I know him. You guys know who I'm talking about. Tavares, yeah. He fought Tavares. KO'd him in the first round. Crazy. Beautiful KO. Dropped him with a 1-2. Then kicked him in the head. Left head kick. KO'd him. Nice. Okay. So I wasn't really too aware of his fight game. Fight style. Whatever you want to call it. So I read a comment that said he gasses out. And then they said, look at the Darren Stewart fight. He gassed out against Darren Stewart. And then someone else commented, but that was a wrestling heavy fight. He gasses out when it's wrestle heavy. So I go and look up that fight and watch it, and he did gas out. So he doesn't have the best cardio. Let's just remember that. So coming to this fight, I thought he's gonna KO Brunson. I didn't post a video, but I thought he was gonna KO Brunson. I said this is gonna have two outcomes. He's gonna KO Brunson, or Brunson is gonna KO him. I said it's one of the others. But I was more confident in him KOing Brunson because I did not expect Brunson to come out like that. Mix it up. Brunson is either a wrestler when he fights. He's either a striker or a wrestler. He's not an MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Or a jiu-jitsu fighter. He comes out he tries to come out too one-dimensional. But today in this fight form that he came out, this was his peak. This was the best we ever seen Brunson. He mixed it up all so well. He went from striking to wrestling to jiu-jitsu. He perfectly, he did it good. He did everything good. To ground and pound, everything. Everything was perfect today. And what's the point I was getting to? Yeah, I said I didn't expect that Brunson. But he really proved a lot of people wrong. He proved me wrong. I thought he's gonna, not win this fight and then win another fight, basically be a gatekeeper. And I have nothing against Brunson. That's just how I thought it was going to go based on his last performances. Turns out he's new and improved, 2.0. Perfect. Good on him. Okay, now we're going to talk about Ed Shabazyan. People are already talking about, I hate when people do this. This is one of my pet peeves. They lose a fight and then they blame the trainer. That's one thing. Number two, no head movement, no this. Okay, that makes sense, but when there's a young fighter, you need to understand. He's young. Ed Shabazyan is only 22 years old. He doesn't have that man strength yet. And I asked a lot of people about, I'm really interested in ages. I'm really interested. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm really interested in ages. Like, what age do you feel the strongest? What age do you feel the fastest? What age are you in your physical peak? What age are you the smartest and sharpest in terms of fighting? What age do you keep growing? Do you stop? How does recovery work with age? I found out, okay, I'll bring these up in another video, but he's only 22, Edmen. Edmen is only 22 years old. That's really young. That's super young. Okay, now with that, for boxing, boxing is heavily based on reflexes, speed, strength, so it's 100% understandable. Power, not strength. It's 100% understandable. Someone like Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, whatever his name is, I forgot his first name. Devin, I don't know how to say it. Devin, yeah, it's Devin Haney, yeah. It's mostly on speed, reflexes, power, but there is man strength, and there's a reason why old man strength is a thing. Edmen Shabazyan is so young and inexperienced. He's not really inexperienced. He has experience, but he still has so much to learn, and he's still gonna grow. He's only 22. That's just crazy to me. He still doesn't have his man strength yet. That's probably going to come around 24, 25 years old. 23 to 25. Everyone is different, but that's when it usually comes. Mostly 23 to 24. He doesn't have the experience, like fully, he's not fully experienced. He's still too young, okay? But with that, when you're young, I know I should save this to another video, but let me just say this. When you're young, you recover easier. Yeah, that's not a word. Your recovery is way better. And something else is recovery in two ways. Recovery in not getting knocked out, that's number one. And recovery is how your body stands up. How your body is like after training or after, you know, a hard sparring session. How does it recover? When you're younger, you recover way better. That's one thing. And you recover way better from getting hit in the head, getting rocked, knocked out, knocked down. You recover way better. If okay, we seen this shabazyan. In the second round, he got KO'd. Like, we all seen him go limp. If that was a 32-year-old Shabazyan, Edmen Shabazyan, and that same shot, same everything, went on in that same fight, he wouldn't have gotten back up in the third round. Herb Dean would have stopped that fight because he would have been way more rocked. He recovered from that way better. Even, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go as crazy to say this. Even if he never took any shots in his whole entire life, and he's 32 years old, and he got hit by those shots, he would still have a hard time recovering, and Herb Dean would stop that fight. When you're younger, typically you recover quicker. That's just from my research. I might be completely wrong, but I've been doing heavy research on this, on age and everything. I'm really interested. And something else, between the ages of, I'll say 15 to 19, maybe 20. I'll say 20 is the maximum. 20 to 21. If you're like really hard training, hard everything, I'll probably say 20 is the maximum. 19, maybe even 19. But around 15 to 20. You recover faster from training. So say you did a hard sparring session, and some bag work and drills and everything, you're all beat up after practice. 2 hours of pure just rough practice. And like, yeah, rough practice. I'm getting off topic because I was thinking about I should make a separate video on this age thing, but I guess I'm gonna make this video for this. Okay. So, Edmen is still on that age where he's easily recovered. Recovery is easier at a younger age. Say you just went through a hard practice, hard 2-hour practice, sparring, drills, like I just said. Now, after, say you're 19 years old, that just happened say you're 17 years old, that just happened. The next day, you'll wake up fine. Of course, you'll still have a little bit hurts in you, but you'll wake up fine. You'll wake up fast, powerful, explosive, whatever you had, you're going to wake up the next day feeling the same way. Okay. Now, say you're 33 years old, 34 years old, and you had a hard practice, hard practice, same thing, same drill, 2-hour hard practice. You'll wake up the next day, and your body will be beat up. Your speed won't fully be there. Your reflex, your mental won't fully be there. That's a big part too. Your mental will be there. At a younger age, your mental will be there. You're just more hyper, more, As you get older, you kind of got to slow down, And also, one more thing is, the thing about Ed is, with the training, what I said about training, his coach, and Mike Perry made a good point. Coaches don't really make that much of a difference. They make a big difference, don't get me wrong, but they don't make it to where someone said this best. I think it was about Mike Tyson. Someone in the boxing, like Mike Tyson area, something like that. They said this. They said that you could have, if you taught Mike Tyson, 12-year-old Mike Tyson, whenever he started training, and you gave him a mid-core boxing trainer, he would still be Mike Tyson. And then the other thing is, if you gave, say, someone who's unathletic, you're not a good fighter, the best trainer in the world, he won't necessarily be the best fighter, Trainers, they don't have the biggest outcome. Like, they don't make the biggest outcome, It's like 90%, I'd say it's 90% fighter, and then 10% coach or training. Not in training, no. Forget about training. I'm talking about coaches. 10% coaches, 90% you. It all relies on you at the end of the day. Coaches, But that 10% is a big deal. You know, that 10%, they break down footage for you. They help you out here and there in the corner. You know, I'll if I was a fighter, you know, I'll give in, which I hope to be, you know, soon or one day, you know. I'll try to make the biggest as I can out of that 10%. I'll try to make the most I can out of that 10%. Okay. That's pretty much the end of the video. I'm just going to talk about age. The next video, I'm going to post me talking about... hold on. We'll see. The next video is going to be something different, but edited videos will be coming soon. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm tired of this black screen just as much as you are. Please stay consistent watching my videos if you want. If you don't, hey, dislike and tell me where I went wrong. I'm just gonna be plain out and simple. Just dislike and tell me where I went wrong. If I'm talking too much, if whatever I'm doing, just I like I like constructive criticism. Whatever. I can't speak, man. It's late at night. I'm tired. You know. Yeah. So thank you so much. That'll be it.